Hey, good evening, everyone. This is Abdel with Ratio Trading here, and it's been about a week since I did a video, so I figured it was probably about time that I did a little bit of an update on some of the trades that we're in and some new things that I'm looking at over the next week or so. So, first thing we're looking at right here is a monthly chart of Apple. If you've been sort of watching for the past, I don't know, year or so, sometime, I think it was literally last year, had a really, really nice buying opportunity right in the low 400s. Bought, hit the first target within a few months. Then we went into sort of limbo mode. These are monthly candles here. So if you look at each one of these candles, it's literally 1 month, right? But what you'll see here is that once we sort of got into that first target area, which was around like I think 520, maybe 530. Let's see here. So I'm drawing from the high down to the low, right around that entry point here, and you can see 5618. So you get 545. So right when we started getting into that area, lots of hesitation, right? And you can see we saw a reversal looking candle here that suggested that we might start going down. We saw a drop, then a pop back up. But since it got into that area, right? 1 month, 2, 3, 4, 5 months, almost 6 months of just hanging out basically between right around 500, right under 500 to about on average about 550, 560. All right, so in a $50 range for quite some time. And the thought process was this market is going to do one of two things before the end of the year, right? That was my thought process, at least. We're either going to start heading back up towards the 700, or this thing is going to not be able to. It's going to fail and drop back down to around 390, 400. The earnings come out. They do better than expected iPhone sales. A little bit down on the iPad, but perceived as optimistic. Buyers come in. Now we're pushing through. Now, today is the last day of the month. So it's April 30th as I do this video. And you can see here that candle is going to close above the last previous high here. So what happened here, the market went from the low to that high, right? This is where we bought some. Then it pulled down a little bit. Then it rallied back up, and it has now since broken that. So we can measure this last leg up, and with our fib extension tool, we can make a predictive. We can basically make we can predict where it's going to go next. And based on that, and based on a close above this, there's a 70% chance it's going to hit 624. Okay? Now, I think it'll probably happen this coming month, so May, right? We're heading into May. So I think sometime in May, we will get to 624. From there, if it is able to break through 624, let's say it takes this month, or maybe it takes more than that, we can also use just simple symmetry. So we measure the initial move, and I can just duplicate or clone in this instance right here. And if and you can see that the 1-to-1 puts it around 678, right? And what's interesting about that level is that that's probably where the 1618 extension is, right around there. So I think it's not out of the question that it's probably going to retest the highs. I think within the next 1 to 3 months, before the end of the year, most certainly, I would say. And it only helps that there's probably going to be new products announced between now and the end of the year, right? They haven't announced anything. So I am very bullish on Apple. And before the year is up, I believe, based on the analysis here, that we will likely retest the highs and possibly start taking them out. So if you're not in Apple and you're thinking about buying it, I would be looking for any buying opportunity. Now, there isn't necessarily one right now that I see. And if you're not long, you don't really have a place to put a stop. But generally speaking, I'm optimistic and I'm very bullish on Apple. If you want to trade it, maybe you can look at like intraday hourly chart, see if like a decent pullback comes down. And if it does, you can be a buyer. I don't really see anything yet, and I'm not an intraday trader. But if something comes up and you see it, I'm like as I said, I am bullish and I am a buyer for Apple long term for the next 6 months to a year. I expect it to retest and probably take out these highs. Now, keep in mind, it is going to split in a couple months, 7-1. So this thing is not going to be at 600-700 in the next couple of months. It's going to drop, maybe to $100 or less, depending on what the stock is trading at. All right. Quick update on Amazon. I bought here at least right around where we are now, probably a little bit higher. We saw it start popping up. It got to a high of like 337, 338, and then it collapsed. Again, following the rules, the stop placement was below this low. So we did not get stopped out. And again, you can see a nice reversal here. This is a weekly chart. There's still a couple days left in the weekly, but this is a very nice reversal here. I continue to stay long. If you're not in it and you want to take this trade, this is actually a good opportunity to get in. It's cheaper, I think, than when we got in initially. I can double check here. Let's see. We're gonna low to that high, and we got in at the 786 level. So I'm gonna get rid of 50, and I'm gonna pop in this 786. So I got in right around where we're trading right now, around 3. I think I got in around 310. So if you want to be a buyer of Amazon, you can get it right now. And I am looking for a move up to 335 at the minimum, around 340, right in between that 50 and 618, and where that previous structure support is right there. That's where I expect it to get. It's a weekly chart, so I expect this to take several weeks, at least a month, probably a month. Maybe it happens sooner, maybe it doesn't, but I am still long Amazon. And then Tesla, similarly, we bought right down here. It started moving back up, came so close to our target, fell down, sticking with the plan, not removing stops. You can see it's trying to regain. I think it's going to get back up there in the next several weeks. Again, just following the plan, following the rules, not being scared. And that's trading, right? Trading is counter to most things that you do, right? It's more about sitting and just watching versus trying to do more, right? Doing more in trading is often actually bad. So I continue to stay long Tesla, looking for a move up. So and that's really it. I'm paying attention to those the most. Gold, another market that I've been paying attention to. Kind of slow. Again, hasn't really been doing much. Kind of figuring out what it wants to do. A lot of consolidation here. Something's going to happen here eventually. I'm still long gold because we had a buy signal last year, right? I mean, it was a buy signal. So I'm just staying long. And if I get stopped out, then I get stopped out. But right now, I'm just staying long and seeing what happens. This consolidation is going to lead to something. And I'm waiting to see if it's going to go up or not. That's about it. Finally, S&P. Let's take a look at the weekly. Actually, I'm sorry. Let's take a look at the daily. And you can see here, nice retest. So some people bought right here off of a retrace, bounced, came down hard from the other day, kind of getting up to that retest level. If it takes out these highs, tomorrow maybe it'll attempt to, at least then look for it to retest the highs very quickly. All right, and then if it breaks those highs, we can look at this leg right here from the low to that high, and 127 will be likely if it is able to break these highs. All right, we'll revisit that if it happens. All right, guys, hope that helps. Questions, feel free to ask, and we'll see you guys next time.